Well, as y'all know, this is DIY week, and I am doing a lot of DIYs for my office. And I am actually using one of those DIYs right now, my ring light, to provide exceptional lighting for you guys when I make my videos. So if you are interested how I did this DIY ring light, Diva ring light on a budget, y'all, click the link up in the link below, up and below, and you'll get all that information. But this video is going to be talking about the DIY orchid that I made, and it can go anywhere in your home. I am going to be using it for my office. However, you could use it on any tablescape. You can use it on any foyer entrance, any desk, in any office. It's beautiful. It came out phenomenal, and I'm going to give you guys a little secret on how I keep it all together, and it doesn't move. It's all together without gluing each individual piece down. Stay tuned if you're looking to see how I did a DIY orchid for my office. See you guys in a bit. So what you'll need for this project is a floral foam core. You'll also need a container of some sort. I got this from the Target dollar spot. You will need an orchid, and you could use more than one if you like. Some greenery, some filler, and some bling. I like these green leaves. They are glittery green leaves. And a flower nipper. So I'm pressing down the foam core inside of my base. I took these plastic plates from the dollar store and I spray painted one black. That's going to be the base of my arrangement so that the metal bucket doesn't drag on my surface of my desk or wherever else I put it. I'm also going to use some scissors to cut this moss. It is on like a wire mesh, and I'm just going to lay it down in here, cut it down to size, lay it down inside over top of the floral foam, and then I'm going to place the orchid inside. This foam isn't really doing the job for me here, so I'm going to lift this the core up, and I'm going to place the moss on top and then cut down the orchid so it's a little bit shorter so that it'll stand straight and tall inside of the floral foam without it being leaning left or right. Also, I'm not filling the moss, so I'm going to grab a bag of moss that I have that's just the individual moss, and I'm just going to fill my bucket with this moss and just make sure it gets down in those corners so that the base of the arrangement is nice and tight inside of my little bucket. And I'm just going to continue to press that down, make sure the orchid is nice and straight, and then I'm going to continue to fill so that the top of the floral foam block is covered. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm going to get the secret out, you guys. The secret to this whole thing, so that you don't have to glue everything together, is ta-da! Spray adhesive. Yes. So I'm going to spray this foam. I'm going to spray this moss, and then I'm going to just, make sure that it's sprayed down nice and good, and make sure that everything is all in place. I don't really like the way that greenery is looking, so we're not going to use that, guys. I'm going to go back here into some buckets that I have filled with stones and rocks and marbles, and I am going to pull out my stones and give this a little bit of a rustic look with the stones. So I'm just placing them. I do apologize, guys. I just put the spray adhesive right in front of the camera, and you can't see me placing down these rocks, so I do apologize for that. But I'm just making sure that the rocks are varying in color, that they're varying in size all around, and that they are covering that moss as well as possible. I don't want the moss to show at all now that I have the rocks. So I'm just placing them down and making sure that they also lean up nicely against the orchid and fill the bucket without looking over full. And then I am going to use the spray adhesive again, you guys, lifesaver. I do not have to glue down every rock individually. I am going to use the spray adhesive and I am going to spray these rocks, and I'm going to give them a good spray. And these rocks, believe it or not, are going to dry as one cohesive unit, and the whole piece will be one unit. I love it. So with that also, the spray, the adhesive spray also creates like a gloss over the rocks, like a dew, so to speak, that looks really cool, you guys. You should see it. So I'm using the quick hold glue that I'm going to place on the base of my container, my little bucket, and I am going to just go ahead and glue that down onto the black plate. And I did spray paint this, guys, that black paint, that black plate, but you can use acrylic paint or whatever you have on hand and just paint the top side. You don't have to paint underneath. It'll be just fine. I mean, paint underneath. You don't have to paint the top side, and it'll just show through since it's clear. So now I'm going to press this all down, not too hard, because that is plastic and I don't want it to crack now that I have my glue on it. And I'm just going to make sure that my orchid is standing up nice and tall. I'm going to arrange some rocks, and I need something because the glue is getting tacky. The spray adhesive is getting tacky, so I need something to try to maneuver those rocks a little bit. And I just want to make sure that the orchid is in the shape that I want it to be in. I'm just going to make sure that I put some more rocks in here to try to get it to stand up as straight as possible. And as I press them down, they are being glued to the other rocks as well. So I'm shaping my orchid once again, and I am pressing down because I feel like my orchid is leaning, you guys. So that's what I'm doing, and this is basically the final piece. I'm adding in my little green glitter leaves, and these are just adding a little bit of bling, not too much. You guys can go with a big leaf if you want. You can go with some other type of greenery, but I just went with this. It's very little. It just adds that little something to bring the orchid out. So that is it, you guys. I've placed those leaves and they will dry with the adhesive spray as well once everything is all dried together. And you guys, that's it. Take a look. What do you think? Well, that's day 2 of our DIY office series. I hope you enjoyed that DIY orchid. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future updates. And I will see you in the next DIY video.